Okay, we're going. We're almost live on all the platforms. Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO, and we are going to be talking about the massive wealth transfer that I think is going to happen, and quite a few other people are think that it's going to happen. Sorry, today's a little bit late today. Lo is still sick. She got another flare up yesterday evening. So I'm like, ugh, didn't really sleep again. Any of those things. We're live. Mr. John, shout out to John, channel member. But we're going to talk about the wealth transfer. I personally believe we've been in a super cycle. We will continue to be in a super cycle. I know some of you aren't really interested in hearing that because you're like, why isn't everything pumping? Well, that's not how the markets work. I know that crypto is extremely volatile. I know that a lot of times we get really, really great upside and we get a lot of bullish volatility once like alt season is here. But at the same time, I do think we do need to be patient. We need to be patient because this is the first time when it comes to traditional finance and crypto where we are going to see this transfer of wealth. Primarily, it's going to come from crypto, though. It's going to come from crypto. That's just my personal opinion. And the reason why I'm tying traditional finance into this is because they are bringing in crypto. They're finally adopting crypto. JP Morgan, I'm actually going to drop a video for you guys today. Sorry, I already recorded it. About JP Morgan and BlackRock and all these big companies. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. I'm super excited. Thank you, James. Let me go ahead and talk. Oh, Stray Dog. So my daughter, let me just get the Lo stuff, give you guys an update. So Lo, she's a super healthy kid. Very, very, very healthy kid. Like I'm very, very blessed. I exclusively breastfed. But she never had formula, any of that type of stuff. She's super picky though, which I don't necessarily like, but fine, great, whatever. But moral of the story is she's super healthy kid. She doesn't really get sick. She's only vomited like a couple times. She did break her arm once when she was little, but for the most part, she doesn't get sick. But she is allergic to mosquitoes. I'm allergic to mosquitoes. I'm definitely allergic to mosquitoes and I swell up like crazy. So Monday, it was like the first hot day in Los Angeles County. She went to school. She came back. It was hot. They were playing outside and she came and she's like, Mama, it's so hot. I'm all sweaty. I was like, okay, cool. Why don't we? She's like, can we go in the pool? I said, yeah, we go in the pool. So she goes, she puts on her suit and then she comes out, Bobby. And then she's just covered in hives, like big from like her neck, which is a little bit scary because it's the upper respiratory. So gave her Benadryl, put her in cold bath to try to calm the stuff. Didn't get better. So took her to urgent care. They gave her prednisone. They says, you're doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. And she's like on a 3-day supply of prednisone. So yesterday she got another, like everything is calming down. So the original breakout of hives has calmed down significantly. But yesterday she got a second breakout on her leg. So it's just poor baby. And so she's up all night. Well, she wasn't up all night scratching, that type of stuff, but she did a couple times. So I haven't been sleeping because I'm like waking up and like checking her to make sure she's okay. Cause I just get a little bit nervous. I'm a mom. I when it comes to my kid, I freak out about stuff. Like her dad called me a Karen the other day at urgent care. And I'm like, what is it about my kid? I'm going to freak out. Like, it's not that I let her get away with murder or anything like that, but it's very, very important that I, advocate for her health-wise, especially because healthcare, primarily in Los Angeles County, California, is absolutely horrible. But anyways, she's fine for the most part. We're just kind of monitoring. But let me go ahead and give a channel shout out to my amazing members. And we are also going to, then we'll go ahead and get into the news. And I think TikTok is working too. ProtoFem, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Good morning to Mr. G, to John Legend. We got gorgeous Alexandria in here, Mr. Gamer. And then, yeah. But thank you guys. But she's okay. Mommy's just being a mama bear, which is fine. But we're going to get into the news, all that type of stuff. And thank you guys for caring about her and asking about her. She appreciates it. For some reason, the TikTok live stream chat is not working again. I don't know why. Hold on, we got a letter. You're supposed to be doing your homework. I finished with half. If I come out there, did you do your reading? Oh, shoot. Yeah, you have to finish 10 minutes from yesterday and 20 today. Okay. Thank you. Please go do that. So, yeah, so we've got homework at home, all these types of things. Anyways, we're going to go get into it. And she also appreciates that you guys are asking about her. She goes, does your audience, do they know who I am? I says, of course they know who you are. You're like the coolest kid ever. You're like OG crypto Twitter person. I'm not. She is. She's been on crypto Twitter since she's been like 2 or 3 years old. Anyways, Lo is my daughter. She's 8 years old. We feature her a lot on the channel. I don't show her face just because I'm an overprotective mama. Sorry. But we did get a note. Mom, I am done with half of my homework, which she's not. Can I play Roblox? Yes or no? No, because she has to read. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the news. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for just letting me All right, let's get into it, okay? First, let's take a look at the market. This is the market right now. Most of you are saying, Wendy, well, how is there going to be this big wealth transfer when the market looks like this? Well, a lot of you need to zoom out. You need to be patient. Market doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about your feelings, any of those things. Right now, this is the weekly. Pi seems to be down the most, Jasmy, Dexy, but Bonk is up, SPX, SHIB, Bera, Doge, Move, Crow, because of the partnership with World Liberty Trump's Truth Social, I believe, Floki, etc. And with that partnership, the reason why it's so big is because they're bringing crypto and they're bringing traditional financial assets essentially on crypto.com. A lot of that's probably going to be RWAs for like the money market funds and the like all that type of stuff. All this stuff is going to be pretty much digital like we've been talking about. So I've got a video that is going to today at 2 p.m. PST we're dropping. And again, we're going to see traditional finance merge over with crypto because they want to be able to trade 24/7, 365 and have instant access, instant settlements, all that type of stuff. And that's what the RWA sector will provide in a lot of these funds like BlackRock, Biddle, etc. But this is important over here. So this is from Mr. Vlad. This is Vlad. He is the CEO and co-founder of Robinhood. I've got some stuff to say about it. So just let me get through this and I'm going to give the bullish and the bearish in this. He says here, 124 trillion is being handed down in the greatest transfer of wealth in history. This is happening alongside tremendous technological dislocations due to artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. He's correct. The coming years will be critical, and we are working hard to ensure you navigate them smoothly. I like that he said artificial intelligence because, again, we've talked about different AI technologies, especially in crypto, that like AI agents and the power of those and what they can potentially do for you. And he's also talking about cryptocurrency. Yes, 100%. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Unless it's you need mommy, I need you to handle your business, okay? Thank you so much. So, and he's talking about 104 trillion is being handed down. What do you mean by that? He's basically talking about money that's going to be more accessible to more people. That's where I'm getting from this. So, of course, you know me and my big mouth. I have to comment. I said, will you support retail and ask for the accredited investor law to be abolished? If not, it is the same ivory towers. If not, the same ivory towers will profit, not the underdogs, what Bitcoin was created for. That is the real transfer of wealth. He responded, he says, yep, the accredited investor rules needs a reboot. And I says, thank you, because I think that's incredibly important. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Robinhood and what they do and whatnot. And if some of you are brand new to the channel and you don't know, we covered Robinhood last cycle pretty extensively because they were halting trading with GME and like all the cuckoo-ness as was happening because that was a retail movement. Do I blame Vlad for halting it? Yes and no. He was told by his people that they needed, probably by the upper hands, that you need to halt trading, you need to do this, X, Y, and Z. And at that time, the SEC was not a very nice place for crypto, for technology, for any of it. So is he 100% at fault? No, but he is at fault to an extent. Previous administration was also at fault as well because they were essentially manipulating markets with the whole GME thing and, halting trading and whatnot. But the fact that he responded about the accredited investor law, he's the only CEO founder from Web 2 or Web 3 that really has said anything about it. Because again, we are not going to have a transfer of wealth. We are not going to have money go to the underdogs, you and me, retail investors. A retail investor is somebody who makes less than $250,000 a year and has less than $1 million in assets. If you do not qualify for those, if you weren't born rich or have a really great job, then you have to take these series tests, which are absolutely stupid because people get because you're not going to use half of that stuff. Like basically when we're talking about crypto or investing in those types of things, you need to understand the basic risk here. Okay. And it's just as risky in some of these cases as going to a casino or going to buy scratchers or lottery tickets. And they don't have those types of disclosures there. So unless the accredited investor law is revamped or removed, that transfer of wealth will not happen. It will only happen for people that have been able to be financially fit. But not all people that are financially fit worked for that. Some of them inherited it. And again, I don't have anything against rich people. I don't have anything against trust fund babies, any of that stuff. I judge people based on their personality and like how they treat other people. But at the same time, this is incredibly predatory. Immensely predatory, because you have people that are well versed in trading stocks and risk management or just good investors, and they're unable to get the special access to products and services like the people that are accredited investors. And that's why it's incredibly predatory. So unless we get a change with that, which is something that I've been very vocal about, I've been fighting for, then there's not going to be transfer of wealth, or to the extent that he's talking about. But again, at the end of the day, he is right about the transfer of wealth to an extent. He's right, because we're seeing like people in there's so many people I know in crypto that have done well for themselves and made money. Also, to you guys, make sure to smash a like, drop me a comment, and make sure you subscribe and you set all alerts so you don't miss anything. Okay. So back to the transfer of wealth. We can very much do this in crypto. A lot of people have done well in crypto. But we still do need to have our voices heard. And I do agree with the transfer of wealth. It's going to happen. But we want to make sure. We want to make sure that it applies to retail. Gamer said, Crypto.com is competing with Robinhood now that it offers stocks on the app now. This is why Trump Media did a partnership with Crow. And I agree. And again, Chris from Crypto.com was one of those people that was there at the White House talking to Trump, all these types of things. I believe they donated. I don't remember 100% sure. World Liberty Finance denied my accredited investor application. Really? Shout out to Stray Dog. Shout out to Stray Dog for being a wealthy guy. Just kidding. No, but that's awesome. Well, it's awesome that you're accredited investor, but I don't wonder why they denied it. That's weird. I don't know. I'm not an accredited investor. I don't know. But with that being said, we still need to be diligent. And again, right now, like we're still in this gray area with crypto. Yes, they've been dropping a lot of the cases. Yes, there's a little bit less than drama that's happening in the crypto space as far as like people going after other people and companies, et cetera, from the SEC and the ivory towers. But at the same time, there's still gray area because we don't know if cryptos are securities. We don't know where they fall there. We don't have a lot of crypto ETFs yet. And we still have the opportunity to really function with DeFi. So now is the opportunity to secure your investments, to figure out what you want to invest in, how you want to invest, and whatnot. It's incredibly important, especially right now. And I know some of you are like, oh, well, the market's already pumped and blah, 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 blah. There is opportunities everywhere. There's opportunities everywhere. Shout out to John Legend for being an accredited investor. Woo, woo. I got to apply, see if I make it. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. And I want to read some more titty little bitties over here. Actually, that was pretty much it about that. But there's more coming. There's more coming. There's a lot of other stories that are going to relate to this. But basically, with all the news that we have seen in since President Trump took office, this is all good stuff. This is all positive stuff. This is all things that we need to move forward with the crypto industry, because we couldn't continue to operate in that predatory regulatory environment that we did before. It wasn't going to work. Because again, I do believe crypto would have been banned in the United States of America if the other people got in. It was pretty obvious. Now, and I went ahead and I posted this over here about it because I wanted people to see his response. I think it's important. I think it's incredibly important to continue to hold him accountable. Now, GameStop shares soar 16% after retailer says it will invest corporate cash in Bitcoin like MicroStrategy. So again, it seems like there are a lot of companies that are continuing to follow the steps of MicroStrategy. Why? Well, when you're a company with money, you get, I think that it's institutional money. Is that what it is? You get special privileges. So you can create, like, especially if you're public, you have like stocks and stuff, you can apply to create all these traditional financial products to raise money and to buy Bitcoin and to do exactly what Michael Saylor did. Is it ethical? Is it legal? Yeah. So probably the reason why they did it, they're probably going to follow the same exact game plan as Michael Saylor. So that's why if you do not own Oh, thank you, Jamer. If you do not own Bitcoin, I challenge all of you to accumulate Bitcoin, at least $1,000 of Bitcoin, have more than Germany. Because these people are coming, they want to own Bitcoin and they want to abuse the traditional financial system, and they want to buy more Bitcoin with creating products and selling it. That's just my opinion, though. I mean, what do I know? What do I know? There's no set purchase limit. Funds may come from cash reserves or future debt equity issuances, like Michael Saylor, our strategy. GameStop has $4.8 billion as of February 1st. The move aligns with CEO Ryan Cohen's plans to cut costs and streamline operations for profitability, and they will be profitable just like MicroStrategy with Bitcoin. GameStop's net income more than doubled to $131.3 million, and GME rose over 10% to 16% on the announcement. And the funny thing about it is, of course, Jim Cramer had to say something, which, yikes. He said, GameStop is finally doing my Bitcoin ploy. Ryan Cohen, who is the GameStop guy, said no. And I also was like laughing that the market was going to do, because, you know, Jim Cramer, I know people like to hate on Jim Cramer, but at the same time, he's just an entertainer. He's just a money entertainer. So I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting stuff there. But we are going to go ahead and talk about the Bitcoin cycle and the halvening, et cetera. But let's go ahead and do the market update first. Also, you guys, I have a ref links down below for crypto.com and Femex. I think they're both give you $50 just for signing up. Double check. Not your keys, not your coins. Read the terms of service, and no need to use high leverage. No. Right now, you're trying to protect your capital. You're trying to accumulate more assets that you think will perform well. So taking a look at Bitcoin. This is a chart we've been using. This is the daily. We weren't able to... we were not able to close above $87,000, which is not super fun, not super great, but that's okay. So if we can consolidate between 87 and 85, fantastic. We are a little topped off on Market Cypher. Talking about Market Cypher, hold up. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, we are topped off, and it looks like we do want to head back down. Now, I talked to CryptoFace yesterday, who was on the silent swap space, and we talked a little bit, but he said that there was a wave, and I forget which wave it was that he was talking about, because I was like crazy person yesterday with my kid, but he was basically saying that it looks like the market is ready to absolutely take off, potentially. Like he says, if it ends up playing out, this thing is going to melt faces off, and it is primed for it. I mean, if you look at all the indicators and a lot of things, we do look pretty primed. And again, Arthur Hayes did call the $70,000 to $75,000 Bitcoin drop. We hit 76,000, which is pretty darn close. And then he put out a post this week, which we covered, that said that Bitcoin is more likely to hit 110 than $76,000. And if we hit 110, we're going to experience face melting gain, something along those lines, to 250,000. Could that happen? Possibly. And I'm just kind of watching the markets right now, because I'm very confident we are going to break 110,000 and hit another all-time high. And I feel like we're primed to do it. I just don't know when. And again, we have tariffs that are coming on April 2nd. Which is going to impact the stock market and the crypto market. And we have a lot of uncertainties happening geopolitically, which is great for Bitcoin in the long term. Altcoins, not necessarily as much. So it kind of depends. Also, too, today is hair washing day. Last night was hair washing day. Lo did not do her stuff because she's not feeling good, but I had to wash the hair. So theirs was that. I would like some gains, but I'm not sure I want my face to melt. Oh, BMO. Moderators, stop, please. What the heck? Well, this is the thing. If you guys are, what's going on YouTube? Oh, you guys don't say those things. That's why they're modding you. Shout out to Alpha Junkie, channel member over here. Just behave yourselves. Be good. Don't say nasty things, and you don't get in trouble. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. I want to take a look at actually the monthly, because I haven't looked at it in a while. This is an ugly candle. Oh my God. This is an ugly Darth Maul candle. It would be nice to close above 103,000. That's not going to happen. Ideally, 93,000 would be great, but we'll see where we land this month. Realistically, on the monthly, I would want us to get to close above 88, 87. That would be nice. Oh, sorry. You guys can see the chart right over here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is just nicely putting along, which this chart looks like trash. But on the daily, we were not able to break above $2,000, and actually we're moving back down. So we'll probably fall to about 1933 or to about 1866 over here. Solana dropping as well, but at least we were able to hold above support. which we're able to flip resistance as support. So that's a little bit more bullish for me. Link is at 15. Link is bullish. The fact that it stood upward up here to about 1475. However, it is printing kind of a descending wedge where it goes up and it goes down, which is fine by me because I want to buy more. And as far as XRP goes, this is the XRP daily chart here. XRP is holding above support at 239. However, we might drop to about 226. But XRP is one of the healthier charts that I have noticed. Realistically. And then also to you guys tomorrow, well, since we're talking about XRP, where is it right here? There's a bunch of XRP stories. We'll get to that in a little bit. But let's get back into the news. So let's talk about Cointelegraph over here, because they said, hey, Julie, hey girl, how are you? Good to see you. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Nice to meet you. Julie put out a really funny video about her morning routine. I'm so happy she did that because I don't have the patience to film my morning routine. I look like a goblin in the morning. And I am just like, my kid's not a morning person. Anyways, Cointelegraph. Over half of U.S. states, 26 out of 50, have introduced Bitcoin bills, many promising to allocate up to 10% of state funds into crypto. Wisconsin led the way to become the first state to buy Bitcoin ETFs, holding $558 million worth as of Q4 2024. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. So a state owns Bitcoin ETFs, and states will actually, I think what's going to end up happening with digital assets and cryptocurrency, states are going to buy them via ETFs. That's what I think is going to happen. And it's going to be it's going to be like a race to see. It's going to be freaking crazy. I'm excited. Now, this is Cointelegraph. Every Bitcoin halving cycle tells a story. We're only 340 days into cycle 4. What is your price prediction for Bitcoin when it's in the top? This is their chart that they have. I'm going to go ahead and just get myself out of here so you guys can see. But this is their chart. This is from, I don't know who this is from, but this is being done days after halving. And so basically what they're doing is they're anticipating that 2024 is a black line. They're anticipating that Bitcoin goes up to this area over here, kind of similar to all these others. However, it's probably going to reach right under this top peak here and follow the similar patterns. So we'll see what happens, but they're very bullish. I'm bullish. Kraken said that they're going to consult their magic 8-ball, which is awesome. I don't know. Are you guys bullish? I don't even know what I would call for the top over here. I don't know what I would call for the top. I don't. I hope $250,000 would be awesome. But I do think we will break above 110,000. I maybe peak off at 150. I hope 250,000. I hope so. We do have to do a shout out for our partners over at Brave. I know the chat loves you guys. We also have a poll for you all. Brave, they show my content, I show their content, but they're the browser that puts you first. Block ads, save data, and get way faster web pages just by switching your browser. They have a built-in AI assistant. They do have a VPN. They have private search, and there's no ads, which is pretty awesome. And you also get BAT for using them. And it works on Chrome, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari. Also, in addition, if you're somebody who's not interested in this stuff over here, you can install Brave. So I don't know. I think that they're awesome. Privacy matters. And again, you guys know we support privacy over here. So shout out to our partners over at SQUIDGROW, Silent Swap. If you guys want to use a privacy DEX, but right now we're on 8 different chains. I highly recommend you check it out. I've got a link for that below. I don't make any money off of that because I'm with the team right as of now. And I highly recommend you check it out. When we launch V2, it's going to be good. It's going to be good because it's going to have like Solana and everything. And all kinds of stuff. Sorry, my hair is like, what I just got it cut. So it's like it's still trying to like melt into the thing. Okay. More stuff over here. Let's get into it. Smash the like, you guys. All right, so this is from Ellie. This is an update. We're going to get into our little XRP segments now, but basically this is what happened yesterday. Ripple agreed to drop its appeal against the SEC and pay $50 million of the originally ordered $125 million fine. Because remember, the SEC is pretty positive that they're going to be dropping. The case is going to be over. They just need an official statement, which people are speculating that it's going to come tomorrow. With that being said, there's 2 things. They wanted basically with the SEC, with the outcome of the case, the SEC want them to pay a $150 million fine on top of all the money they've spent, the legal money they've spent on legal fees. And they've already put that as been an escrow account, according to Stuart Aldroy. And then the SEC also wanted them not to be able to offer institutional clients XRP anymore. And they're like, no, we're not doing that. So anyways, they're basically going back and forth right now to try and negotiate and get this settled. And of course, they're going to fight for their best outcome. But again, the commission still has to vote on it. And there's one person that might not be pro-crypto that does have to vote. There's 3 of them. But we have Hester Peirce and Mark Ueda that are going to vote on it. And I'm highly confident that they're going to vote to completely get rid of the case. And the fact that the SEC has to pay a $50 million, or the Ripple has to pay a $50 million fine, just kind of stupid at this point, really. But whatever. So that's the update there. This guy over here said, to be clear, when the SEC lifts the injunction, Ripple be allowed to sell to institutional investors. And he's right. That's one of the other stipulations that they want to navigate. And then we've got Mr. Chris. We got Mr. Chris from crypto.com. And he says XRP ETFs will attract 8 billion of inflows in 2026. And then our friends from Good Morning Crypto says, will BlackRock file for an ETF in 2025? Personally, this is what I think. I think that I think he's right. And again, he's just regurgitating information from for traditional finance that's talking about how much money we could potentially expect to flow in because of the ETF. So yeah, they do. John Legend, SEC needs to pay us a fine. So they're talking about money flowing in for the ETFs once approved. And you guys remember Solana was just added as part of BlackRock's Boodle Fund. So I think once the lawsuit is over, BlackRock will step in and start applying for crypto ETFs, in my opinion. I think so. Shout out to Timp. Thank you so much for being here. Channel member. Woo! Woo! And I agree. We're going to see a lot more money flood into the markets. I think that we could see up to $8 billion flood in for each crypto spot ETF. Also, XRP ETF obvious as Polymarket betters up approval adds to 85%. Users are betting that an XRP ETF will be approved this year after the SEC dropped its appeal against Ripple. I think so too. I feel very confident. There's a couple spot ETFs that have been applied already, not by BlackRock, but I do think that once that's dropped, the SEC will approve these ETFs, the spot ones. Very, very confident. Why wouldn't they? They're going to start approving them. Why would they start approving them? Well, President Trump said that's what they're going to start fostering American companies, made in USA stuff. And that's kind of what the partnership between them and crypto.com was. Shout out to Tim. He went ahead and gifted Gustavo an OARMY membership. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. Welcome. Everyone give a round of applause to Gustavo. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Now let's go ahead and get more stuff. We got to do some HBAR chatting over here. So this is from HBAR Foundation. Some things are only possible on Hedera. One of them is vcomp.equitylab.io. And this is in collaboration with NVIDIA and Intel. Verifiable compute is the world's first hardware-based solution to audit and govern AI workflows, leveraging Hedera consensus to create a mutable ledger of AI computations for compatible NVIDIA GPUs and Intel CPUs. We're going to be covering Hedera a little bit more closely because they're made in the USA coin, so why not? Also, too, Karate Combat is built on top of them, so why not? I love Karate Combat. But again, Hedera will get a spot ETF in my opinion, and we are going to be focusing a lot more on stuff that is based in the US because I think it's going to perform a lot better. And I think, or not necessarily a lot better, but I think those are going to be some of the top performers. So if you haven't done already, go to CoinGecko, go to CoinMarketCap, start researching the stuff that's made in the USA and start figuring out if you want to start adding some of those to your portfolio or not. That's something that's purely based on yourself. But again, this is freaking cool. Also here, can't wait for Google Cloud to upload to the internet to Web 2 with HBAR in April. This is just kind of speculation, I think. I don't think that this is true yet, but it looks like Google Cloud is going to have an update. So again, not verified. This is just speculation. Very, very much speculation, but that would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if Google Cloud does start getting more involved in crypto. We covered a story yesterday. I forgot what it was. Anyways, shout out to Zepzi, Hedera USDC, up 74% this week. Still a long way to go, but cool to see the DeFi momentum picking up. And again, DeFi is awesome. I like to see DeFi on every single platform, always, all the time, because again, DeFi allows people like you and me, average people, to get access to wealth. HBAR, I don't know if I want more. I have some. Hey, you don't have to add more. That's the thing, is you do not have to add more money to anything. If you have and you're comfortable in your position, just chill. Go on auto drive. Shout out to Dustin. Give Dustin a round of applause for becoming an OARMY member. Thank you so much, Dustin. It's like $4 or $5, guys. Support me and Lo. Get us unlimited pizzas on the weekend. Shout out to Mr. R. Appreciate you. But you guys don't ever, like, anything I talk about, don't just buy it. Research and see if it makes sense. If not, don't worry about it. Hedera USDC is live on Binance. This was an older one, but again, this was earlier, about 10 days ago. The world's largest it now supports Hedera USDC fully integrated with HTS. Awesome. Again, more DeFi, more DeFi. Now, let's get into a couple more stories we got to get to. Bitso to launch Mexican peso pegged stablecoin on Arbitrum. So we got some Arbitrum news over here. Again, with Arbitrum, you can use that on Silent Swap. We love that. And this is just going to show like how many stablecoins are really kind of taking the lead this cycle. USDC sets all-time high market cap above 60 million as adoption surges. Also, too, it's rumored that Circle will be eyeing an IPO, which if they do, freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. But again, it might only be irrelevant to accredited investors. We'll have to see. Anyways, they're currently capturing 25.4% of the stablecoin market, up from 20.7% in 3 months, primarily because I want to say they're made in America. I got to double check. Let's go double check really quickly. All my settings are completely screwed up over here because I had to restart my computer. All kinds of stuff happened. Yeah, USDC is made in America coin. Tether is not. So that makes sense why more people in America are using it, because they feel a little bit safer with that. Now, Rumble. Shout out to all of you guys that watch me on Rumble. Rumble wallet rolls out with Tether's USDT for creator payments. Tether made a $775 million investment in Tether, or excuse me, in Rumble. So that kind of makes sense. But and Rumble also bought 17 million in Bitcoin, and they plan to invest up to 20 million. And they grew from 1.6 million users in 2020 to 31.9 million by early 2021. Also, Rumble powers True Social's video and cloud services. So again, I'm gonna make sure I sign up for this. So if you guys want to tip me or whatever it is, so I get my ad payments out through there, I think I made $80 so far. But I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. So it's interesting to see what YouTube is going to do. Now, since we're on the same path as stablecoins right now, it's important to talk. U.S. House stablecoin bill poised to go public, lawmaker top crypto panel says. The new regulation is going to focus on issuer oversight, state versus federal. The Senate recently advanced its own version of the stablecoin oversight legislation through the Senate Banking Committee. Both bills would set up guardrails for insurance of stablecoins. This is no more than just a CBDC. They're prepping us for a CBDC. I know a lot of people get mad at me when I say it, but I'm not going to just lie to you guys about it. I'm not. I don't think it's appropriate. I think we will get a CBDC, and it is very important to note and to pay attention to. This is, I believe this is I think this is the stablecoin one. Hold on, let me put the volume for you guys. Y'all could hear. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everyone watching. Smash the like. I know, I kind of want pizza today, but we did Chili's last night, me and my mom, my sister.
An executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott, and so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We can let somebody else, whoever is next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago.
So basically they're talking about modernizing payments, and that's just setting things up for a CBDC and for digital, like for cryptos and those types of things to kind of take away. And why am I being a negative Nancy? Because I don't trust them. I do not trust these people in any way, shape, or form to take care of us. Why wouldn't they? Why would they not have a CBDC so they can essentially monitor and halt people and do all those types of things? So yes, we're making progress. Yes, Trump did promise we're not going to get a CBDC, but at the same time, I'm going to very much speak out my personal opinions. I don't have to agree with everything. So that's just that. But again, I'm happy that we're making progress. I'm happy that things are happening, and I'm happy that crypto essentially is safe in America. But that was important to chat about. Now let's go ahead and talk about, let's get back into the stablecoin bill thing. Yeah. Now, SEC Crypto Task Force to host 4 more roundtables. Mark your calendars. because there could be news coming out here. April 11th, crypto trading regulation. April 25th, crypto custody considerations. May 12th, tokenization and TradFi DeFi intersection. That one's going to be a doozy. June 6th, DeFi and American financial innovation. Mark your calendars for those. Next story. SEC drops investigation into Web3 gaming firm Immutable X. So GameFi will be back probably. And this is actually really cool that they did this. Again, pretty much all the cases that have nothing to do with fraud, those will go away. Now, there was some drama that happened, and I just told my buddy Chris, or he says, "Hey, here's," because it's something that happened with Jelly and whatever it is, okay, whatever it is. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and listen to what happened, because I don't know what happened. Well, anyways, Hyperliquid announces on Discord after evidence of suspicious market activity, the validator set convened and voted to delist Jelly Perps. Binance delisted Jelly Perps, and it had something to do with OKX and Binance doing stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and watch this video and see if Chris can help us with any of this, because he's a buddy of mine. Go support him. Really nice guy, nice family guy. Awesome dude.
The Jelly situation in real time, to my knowledge, given to me at this time because it's early in the process. Also, people think that it could be linked to other centralized exchanges trying to attack Hyperliquid, because Hyperliquid offers perps, which centralized exchanges make a lot of money on. So if they're able to just get rid of Hyperliquid, taking away their market share, then it could be more profitable for them. So basically what happened with Jelly is this whale took out a huge short position on a coin that probably shouldn't have even been listed in the first place, called Jelly. This coin was at a $20 million market cap when this whale decided to take out a $6 million short on the token. Basically, what the whale did was then went and bought the token to liquidate themselves. So instead of taking the blow for themselves, basically Hyperliquid as a platform had to be left holding that short position, which was a negative $10 million P&L. Now this gets even worse, because if this is constantly taking away from this thing that you see right here, the hyperliquidity chart, and if this reaches a $150 million market cap, it completely could wipe away this hyperliquidity, completely attacking the platform, the token price, holders of the token, and all of that. That's at least, to my knowledge, what I'm seeing unfold in real time right now. I'll continue to update you.
This is pretty interesting. Shout out to Chris, Chris Coffee ETH. He's on YouTube. Go subscribe to him. But it's pretty interesting, the kind of stuff that happens. Pretty interesting behind the scenes. Yeah, there was an IMX case too. Yeah, there was an IMX case. The SEC tried to go after IMX for because they raised $12.5 million. Immutable calls the decision a win for Web3 gaming, digital ownership. So, anyways, that was what happened, but not surprising. Not surprising. We love Brave. Anyways, so that's what happened, and it makes sense that exchanges would do these types of things. These things happen all the time in crypto, but I'm not in the trenches. Also, we talked about that. Anything else? Oh, GrokAI lands on Telegram. Telegram just hit 1 billion monthly active users, and GrokAI now launched on Telegram, free for premium Telegram users, and first major expansion. So that's what's going on. Anyways, you guys, I got to get going. I hear little babies pitter patters happen, but I've got a really great YouTube video for you. It's going to launch at 2 p.m. PST. I just have to make sure everything's scheduled and do the SEO. I'm going to make some TikTok, Instagram content. I've got a review to do for you guys. And yeah, we'll chat soon. Sending y'all love.